Alright, so today I'm back with yet another chapter review, and today we will go over chapter 259, which is insane, so be sure to stick to the end because you don't want to miss it. Anyway, I'm going to stop talking and let's get right into the chapter. However, before that, please double check if you are subscribed to the channel, as you don't want to miss my chapter reviews. While you're already down there, you can always leave a like and a comment, and with that out of the way, let's finally get into it. Alright, so to start off chapter 259, let's read the text at the top to remember what happened in the last chapter. It says, seeing his team on the verge of being stolen by Isagi, KAISER seethes with rage. With his back against the wall, and with only Ness as support, how will KAISER turn this almost disastrous situation back in his favor? And fitting with that description, we get into chapter 259 and see the new Gen 11 looking more furious than ever, as he has a look that could turn anyone into stone. He grabs his shoulder hard and says that as annoying as it is, Isagi is evolving, and if he learns to master that outrageous and insane shot, then his value as a striker will skyrocket. If that wasn't bad enough already, KAISER says that Isagi is on the very verge of taking over his team, thinking that he's going to become a second fiddle, but also be defeated by none other than his rival Isagi. Suddenly, someone screams his name. It's Ness who says that, with this new formation, he is KAISER's only ally. But while Ness is coming here being concerned, KAISER just tells him to shut up and to go, saying that the only objective is to show Isagi that no matter how much he tries, he will never surpass KAISER, ending it by saying that it's now or never, and that it's time to unleash his impossible weapon before Isagi manages to steal everything from him. And with that, the match restarts with the scores being 1-1, and PXG starting with the ball. Nanase, right off the bat, passes the ball to the flying Rin, who is right away faced with Reichi and Hiyori. He takes a deep breath and looks over to Charles, but what he sees shocks him. Rin actually stops for a second as he looks over to Charles, who tells Loki to sub him out. He explains that Shido is getting pocketed by Kunigami, or Muscle Freak, as Charles calls him, and that none of his passes are going through, calling him boring, and asking if he can quit. We can see that Loki is starting to get annoyed with him and says that there it is, Charles's irritating lack of motivation. However, we don't stay there for long as the match starts heating up, because both Reichi and Hiyori go to steal the ball from Rin. Reichi says that it looks like his playmaker betrayed him, and Hiyori says that Rin stopped moving, and that this is their chance with the two of them creating a double press. We can see that Rin isn't pleased at all with it. Even Karasu can't believe it and tells them to go for the second ball, but that won't work as the player who's finally back on the pitch and ready to strike says that it's time to counter. It's of course Corona who says that the ball is his, as he easily steals it from Zantetsu. As Corona has gotten the ball, he looks right away for Isagi, whom he finds just above him. They make eye contact, and Corona says that Isagi is his target. However, as he passes the ball, something unexpected happens, as the ball doesn't reach Isagi, but instead, KAISER comes in and steals it right in front of their eyes. As KAISER's got the ball and is looking more determined than ever, he asks Ness if he is ready, and Ness, who is behind him, says that he is, while trying his best to stay on speed. After that, we get into a quick flashback into the German Stratum training field 10 days prior. There we see KAISER and Ness asks what the Magnus effect is. KAISER explains that when a player kicks the ball, the air will naturally exert an equal and opposite force back onto the ball. Now this part might get a bit confusing, so I will first explain the 3 different steps, and then read what they are saying. Feel free to pause and be ready if you aren't able to follow. Anyway, the first step is the mechanism behind a spinning ball, which explains that the shot's power will increase if the airflow and the ball's spin face the same direction. Conversely, the shot's power will decrease if the airflow and the ball's spin face opposite directions. After that, we got to the second step, which is the creation of the aerodynamic force. This means that as the ball spins, some areas experience lower air pressure than others, which creates a pressure gradient. And the third step is the result, which is the Magnus effect. As a result, the ball will naturally curve towards the side with lower air pressure. After that, KAISER says that the reason why a spinning ball will curve, dip, or rise is because of the difference in air resistance between different sides of the ball. Ness, who isn't familiar with this concept, says that it's pretty cool. KAISER then explains that, up until now, he prioritized shooting straight while increasing the KAISER's impact's velocity and power. He puts the ball down on the ground intensely, as he says that his new weapon is where he put some spin on the KAISER impact and intentionally made it curve. However, for this to work, he needs to determine exactly where to strike the ball and raise its accuracy to a level on par with the KAISER impact by using the air valve as the central reference point. He looks at the ball and determines that the meet point is on the lower left side. After that, he looks at it before shooting the ball. Firstly, it looks like a mishit, and Ness is confused and mostly shocked. But then he realizes something as the ball starts to curve. Lastly, he goes into the goal, which is honestly a really impressive goal, and KAISER did that without sacrificing its speed or power, and managed to add a devilish spin to his KAISER impact. Ness has never seen something like this before and is ecstatic for KAISER, as he calls it amazing, and says that this means that he can freely control the direction of the KAISER impact and no one will be able to stop it. KAISER breathes for a second before agreeing, but admits that currently it only works if the ball is stationary, which means that it won't fully work during the game, as the ball will be moving around constantly. Anyway, after that, we get into the game again, and we see KAISER and Ness passing around the ball. KAISER compliments Ness's passes and says that currently they are raising the difficulty level astronomically. As they are going at it, KAISER admits that he hasn't yet succeeded when the ball is still moving. However, that doesn't matter to Ness, as he puts his full trust in KAISER and says that they will complete KAISER's weapon right here and now. As he passes over the ball, KAISER gets the ball and says that it's 3 defenders in front and 2 more defenders right next to me, also saying that he is a bit off balance, but that the conditions are now all set. He looks over to the goal and spots the perfect shooting point. Even though the ball is still moving, he says that it doesn't matter and that this is the thing he needs to overcome, an impossible challenge, and with that, he shoots the ball with his new weapon, which he calls the KAISER Impact Magnus. He shoots the ball over all of the PXG players. However, they are confused as it looks like it's going to miss. Raichi screams out and asks where it's going, and Nanase is wondering if he actually mishit it. KAISER's look is intense as he tells the ball to curve. He follows the ball closely as it approaches the goal, but sadly, it's far from the goal and goes out. Ness is shocked to his core and says that it didn't have enough spin on it. Even Isagi can't believe his eyes, as he wonders if KAISER mishit it, but there's no way that it could be the case, saying that he has never seen him like this. KAISER falls to the floor from the goal, but quickly gets up on his feet and starts to actually scream his heart out. His scream is so loud that it starts to echo, and everyone in the stadium is able to hear his frustration. Isagi is looking at him while his pieces fly around and says that KAISER's unraveling. And then for the final panel, we see KAISER's eyes, which look so dead and lost, and also his teeth, which he is scratching against each other, showing off his incredible frustration. After that, we get to read the text at the bottom, which says, to turn the tables back in his favor, KAISER unleashes his new weapon, the KAISER Impact Magnus. However, his first attempt sails way off target. And the next chapter is going to be called Piece of Trash, which could be about KAISER blaming himself for his mistake. I doubt that Noah will send him out, as KAISER is an insane player after all, and I would be very shocked if Noah actually did send him out. However, I must say that I'm pretty glad that he missed it, not because I dislike him or anything, just because it would be a bit too close to Isagi's goal. Also, I feel like the author is trying to downplay KAISER this match, to then make him leave on his own after the Neo Egoist League to train, and then return to the story for the U20 World Cup, and be someone much stronger and improved. But on the flip side, it would be cool for him to just completely lose it after this, and become like Rin was in the U20 match. Completely swallowed by rage and just going on instinct. However, I feel like KAISER is a bit too level-headed to do that. But please tell me what you think is next for KAISER, as he's someone I find really interesting right now. On the topic of KAISER, if he's able to control his new weapon during a real match, he will honestly become really scary, because a curved ball fused with his KAISER impact is nothing to laugh at. Anyway, I know that we only got to see Corona for a short period of time, but I really enjoyed seeing him back in the game again, and I'm so excited to see him evolve throughout the game. Now, someone who is really getting on my nerves is Charles, and before you say anything, I know that he is meant to be a bit childish and annoying, but seriously, he is really annoying, and for some reason, I can't get myself to like him, but that's just me. Anyway, yeah, this is just my thoughts on it, and please leave your thoughts and theories down in the comments, as I love reading them. If you like Blue Lock and videos like this, then I would highly suggest you subscribe to this channel, and while you are at it, leave a comment and a like, as it helps out with the algorithm a ton. And if you are curious to see another video of mine, then please watch the video that will be popping up on the screen now. Anyway, thanks for watching and have a great day. Bye.